In the aftermath of the no call, it took hours to process what happened. We look like this in the sports office last night. For some people, it might take days, just like last year's finish. Although, let me say this. I do not believe there was some grand conspiracy against New Orleans or the Saints. To me, it's one simple thing, and it's called human error. If you watch enough sports, refs blow calls to varying degrees all the time. The difference is, yesterday's human error ranks as one of the greatest sports missed calls of the last 50 years. Yahoo Sports ranked the 5 greatest blown calls. Number 5, Armando Galarraga's lost perfect game. It was 2010. A horrible call cost Galarraga one of baseball's rarest achievements. We'll get back to that in a minute. Number 4 was yesterday's missed pass interference. It's the only football call to make the list. That's how terrible it is. Number 3, the hand of God. In the 1986 World Cup, England got eliminated on a clear handball from Diego Maradona. It's the missed call with the coolest name. Number 2, the 1985 World Series. A horrible call at first base cost St. Louis the win in Game 6 and a championship. Instead, Kansas City rallied, won that game, and then won Game 7. And for anyone who remembers it, number 1 is obvious. It's the 1972 Olympic gold medal men's basketball game. This one, though, wasn't human error. It was a Soviet Cold War conspiracy, and the USA got robbed. Okay, look, there are 2 ways to look at the Tommy Lee Lewis no call. 1, if the right call is made, the Saints bleed the clock, kick a field goal, and end the game with a win. Now, Will Lutz could miss that field goal. It could be blocked. But my guess is there's a 98% chance you win if that call were made correctly. Maybe 99%. But there's another way to see it. On the play after the human error, the Saints did kick a field goal. They took a 3-point lead with 1:41 to go. Now, according to ESPN's win probability calculator, which I know isn't infallible, but after the human error and then the field goal, it says the Saints had an 83% chance to still win that game. Now, going back to Galarraga, after the human error, Galarraga's perfect game was gone forever. There was nothing he could ever do to get it back. That was not the case with the Saints Sunday. They could have, and at 83% should have overcome the human error and won, and they didn't. So blame the call. You had a win, but multiple factors after the call caused the loss. And long-term, just like robbing Galarraga helped convince Major League Baseball to add replay, I think this call Sunday will help steer the NFL to making pass interference and other referee judgment calls reviewable. Sean Payton said yesterday, we'll probably never get over it. Certainly for now, New Orleans hasn't. We're back with more in a minute.